BigHerc916, positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. I had a question for you guys, and I want to know what your whole take is on perception of culture. And when I'm talking about culture, I'm saying the black culture in general, because it's all over the news right now, and everybody's making this thing about, if you're black, you gotta look at this a certain way, you gotta do this, that way. And my whole thing is, what does black have to do with a person's ability to rationalize what's in their best interest, and whether or not a person has certain values, morals, and standards? I would never follow anybody who couldn't show me a righteous path just because they were black. If they're black and they're garbage with everything they're doing, I'm not going to follow them. And you're not going to trick me or shame me into being down with somebody who's not in my best interest. Whether it's politics or hood shit. I used to see it all the time where you got guys who are somewhat, de facto leaders of certain cliques or gangs or hoods, and when you sit down and talk to these people, you see that they're not really in the best interest of the people that are following them, because they would have some type of structure or policy that allowed the people that are following them to elevate themselves, that would benefit the group, whether it's education, whether it's business knowledge, whether it's some type of growth. But if everything is leading you down a path of death and destruction, lack of economics, sacrifice of self, and taking you away from your family, man, that's a garbage representative. Straight up, that person's not good for anything that's gonna further you in your life. And I say that because I listen to country music. Sometimes when I'm driving out, the station will be on. Wifey listens to some country, so it'll be on. And I'm just listening, and the stories, and, heartbreak, maybe got caught up in a, relationship, bad relationship. Kid went off to war. So-and-so's growing up. You're trying to teach them certain values, this and that. Had a dispute, caught the guy at the bar, but it's never no mass, shooting up a bunch of people stuff, or, death and exploitation, and, there's the totally different vibe with the music. And as I listen to it now for the last couple years, I'm like, it's crazy, the frequency of a lot of the music in the hip hop and the values, as opposed to what's in country music. And I, think back to the old hip hop, De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Tribe Called Quest, X Clan, Special Ed, just, leaders of the new school, and just good music, good vibes, nothing that's destructive, nothing that's gonna make you dislike somebody that looks like you, taking out your ops. I mean, it's coveted in certain genres of the hip hop music industry to brag about killing another guy that looks like you because of something. And most of the time, they're killing, and it's not even something that needed to be dealt with like that, but it's praised. And you got guys that throw them catchphrases, oh, your ops, this and that, and I'm thinking like, what positive is coming from that? And by design and conditioning, look at how that's turned the whole black culture into this just shitty sideshow. BET Awards, you seen when they went to the BET Awards, how, people weren't even dressed like back in the day, very professional, looking nice, representative. They come in there now, girls will start showing their coochies. It's just like, it's everything goes. And, maybe you can say I'm old school or I'm out of the loop, but I'm saying there's certain things like, where's the values at, and who's standing up for these values? Who's calling it? Who's, bringing light to this? Who's exposing this? I hear hardly anybody. I hear Kwame Brown talk about some stuff. Judge Joe Brown talks about some stuff. I hear other brothers mention stuff. Anton Daniels, he says some stuff. Charleston White exposes a lot of this stuff. But the hypocrisy of the black community to always be, talking about, these people, they're anti-black, this and that. And I'm looking like, man, most of the black culture's, perspective on each other right now is anti-black, because they're not pushing the best for those people that look like themselves. I mean, even the people who are mayors in these black cities, they're doing more for the immigrants than they're doing for the blacks. They're not doing shit for black people. And I don't see any of these entertainers, athletes, or anybody stepping up to say, hey, man, this is some bullshit. And, what we're doing is causing more separation, not trying to help cultivate the family structure. You got, guys now, they don't even know, what's going on. The men are so feminized, they don't know how to be a father. And after 2 or 3 generations of not having a dad, you can only imagine what values those guys have. And the fact that they're not working to try to bring those values back together, because, if you got 2, 3, 4, 5 baby mamas, how can you be a father, even if you aren't locked up? How rare is it now for there to be the father and the mother in the household, and for them to stay together for at least 10 years or longer? I don't know, man. I just question the direction and how they really pimp out the brother and utilize him like he's a whooping post for certain movements. But if he starts to think or question something, he's not down with the cause. He's a sellout. Oh man, brother, you've been living outside the hood for too long. Man, look, nobody wants to be in the hood that I know about. Nobody wants to be in an area where they can't go and shop and have safety for their kids and have the things that bring joy to their family. So when you talk about the hood and, the guys are robbing the Amazon people, they're, pressing up on somebody that they can take something from. I mean, I don't want to be a part of that. None of that hood shit. Just being 100. And I know a lot of other brothers who ain't down with it either. At the end of the day, it's about bringing family together and having something that's going to help economically enhance the community, rather than a hood. Let's build a community. Leave a comment, share the channel, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. I just was, brainstorming and thinking about like just how I was just listening to the country music, and I was comparing like some of the vibes I was getting from some of the other music in black culture, and then how now is, it would be so cool if we had a black look, man. I don't care who's in office as long as their policies are what they say they are, which is something that's gonna solve some of this economic hardship that everybody's dealing with, except for the super elite. I don't care about a person's race, man. I don't care if a person is from, wherever, as long as they are about doing something that's going to really challenge the status quo. Otherwise, miss me with that, man. Miss me with that race shit, man. BigHerc916.
Hello, I'm BigHerc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.
Are you tired of smelling funky? Have you lost your ad? Go to BigHerc916.com and get your nutsack run.
I didn't start off as a bad kid. Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight-A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.